Annyeonghaseyo, welcome to Afternoona Delight, where Leah, Megan, and Amy, three American romance novelists discussing all things K-romance from a writer's lens. We fangirl over our favorite actors and actresses, talk up our trope addictions, and nerd out on K-drama deep dives. We'll throw in a few K-pop and K-skincare recs for good measure, because why not ride the Hallyu wave all the way to shore? So grab some tteokbokki and listen to your new favorite unnies.
Hey everybody. So this is Leah here, and I realized in the last couple of weeks that something that we have not done on Afternoona Delight for a while has been snacks. And snacks are short, kind of bite-sized episodes that you can listen to pretty quickly and then get on with your day. And I am in Australia, and I decided, I'm going to go rogue. I'm going to make a snack. And my inspiration for it is that I'm currently visiting a good friend up on the Sunshine Coast, which is in Queensland, north of the city of Brisbane. And something that kind of connects us is that she also likes to watch dramas, which is exciting because I don't have very many friends in real life who ever like to watch Korean dramas. So I am going to do a snack with my friend Jack today. So Jack, I'm going to introduce you. She is a little introverted and very shy. And so, this is a growth moment for her, and I've reassured her that this will not be a scary process and we're going to have lots of fun. So Jack, do you want to just introduce yourself quickly, maybe your name, a little bit about like what you do for work, and then I'll ask you some questions.
Sure. Hi everybody, my name is Jacqueline, short Jack or Jackie. So I'm actually Singaporean. I'm living in Australia because I'm married an Australian man. What do I do for work? I'm actually a health and phys ed teacher at a primary school here in Sunshine Coast.
And she's extra smart because she's currently working on finishing up her PhD as well.
I wouldn't think that's extra smart, but thank you.
And part of what gets her through the stress of her PhD is her slight addiction to Korean dramas. And also what keeps her preventing from just going full binging on Korean dramas is her PhD. So, yes. So one of the reasons I wanted to talk to Jack is because she has a drama that means a great deal to her. In fact, I am going to go out on a limb and say she is one of the super fans for this particular drama. And it's the one we're talking about today, which is Descendants of the Sun.
Yay!
So this is a Kim Eun-sook driven drama. Kim Eun-sook has also done Goblin, Heirs, Mr. Sunshine. And Descendants of the Sun is a drama we have not talked about on the podcast, even though it's very popular. And one of the reasons is because Megan hasn't watched it. And Amy and I watched it together and had different opinions. I liked it okay. I mean, I was happy with it. I enjoyed myself and kind of moved on with my life. Amy didn't like it at all. And Jack, as we're going to see today, likes it quite a bit. So we're going to talk about it from the perspective of somebody who liked it kind of to somebody who really liked it, and hopefully it'll be a fun conversation. So I'm just going to give a quick summary about Descendants of the Sun. No real spoilers here, just kind of the overall setup, and I'm pulling this information from Asian Wiki to just kind of like capture it and sum it up. So we have Shijin, played by Song Joong-ki, and he is the captain of he's a captain in the special forces. And at the beginning of the drama, we see him catch a motorcycle thief who gets injured in the capture and is sent to a hospital. And when he realizes that his cell phone was stolen by the thief, he goes to the hospital to retrieve it. And in the emergency room, magic happens because Shijin meets Dr. Mo-yeon, who is played by Song Ha-kyo for the first time. And it is a very much love at first sight trope. So he falls for her immediately. Mo-yeon, I wouldn't say falls for him immediately. No, she kind of assumes that he's part of like the thief's criminal gang, and he has to prove that he's actually a soldier. So they begin to date, but due to like the stresses of their jobs, their dates don't go very well. And Shijin ends up taking an order to lead his soldiers on a peacekeeping mission to a fictional country of Urk. Like the best name for a fictional country. Meanwhile, Mo-yeon is back at home, and she's upset because she's looking to advance herself in her career. She wants to become a professor of medicine, but due to a colleague's privileged background, she's kind of overlooked for advancement. So they do have some philosophical discussions. I think there's like a big theme that the writer was trying to hone in on how Shi-jin as a soldier can have to sometimes like kill to protect lives, whereas Mo-yeon as a doctor is trying to save all lives. So anyway, things happen and they both end up in Urk together. A doctor and a soldier. And, kind of that's where we kind of go with like the core thrust of the drama. So Jack, just first off, how many times have you watched this drama?
10.
10 times. 10 full times mostly.
Yes.
Okay. So that's a lot for any measure. And that's what I guess fascinated me and is the reason I wanted to have this conversation today. So what keeps you coming back for more? And it's okay if that reason is Song Joong-ki.
Well, that he's part of the reason. The other reason is also because of the chemistry between the two main leads. I think it's very, very candid and it's very sweet. I just like, it's like I don't know, it just puts me into a different world altogether, like a magical world, fantasy world where I can just whenever I watch it, I just feel like I wish to be that doctor. I wish to be standing opposite the soldier and experiencing what she's experiencing and being able to communicate, in that funny teasing way together with him. Just puts me into a different world, really, basically.
Yeah. So sometimes on the podcast, what we talk about is this idea of kind of universal fantasies that happen in fiction. So they're like kind of like fantasies that like people can project themselves into. And one of them is kind of, where I think Descendants of the Sun have some of these universal fantasies is one that like love at first sight. That's like very intense and powerful. Yeah. Another is kind of being whisked off to like a different location. That's kind of intense to have that relationship. So, I mean, I can see how it gets tied into it. And something that I'm curious about, too, because you've watched it 10 times, is do you feel like in rewatching it, like because the story is familiar and you kind of already know what you're going to get, do you feel like it's like a stress reduction? Or like how do you, like when you do this rewatch, I'm just curious, like what keeps you coming back for it?
It makes me go back to that first feeling when I first watched it, that, oh, this is so lovely.
So you keep having that feeling?
Yeah, I keep having that feeling, the same feeling over and over again. And it just rekindles my, I wouldn't say love, but my interest in the captain, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are there other dramas, because you've watched other dramas, are there other dramas that you've watched multiple times?
There's actually one other, and it's Airs, but it's not as many times. I think I've watched it 3 times.
Okay. So Kim Eun-sook so you've watched Airs, and you've watched Descendants of the Sun. But you have not watched Goblin. Did you watch Goblin?
I only watched a little bit of it and wasn't too keen on that, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. And then did you watch King Eternal Monarch? You tried that?
Yes, I tried that.
But not a big
fan. I like Lee Min-ho, but because the female lead wasn't all that
You're not
good
Kim
looking.
Oh, Kim Eun-sook, no.
In my view,
yes. So sometimes we do have differing opinions on the attractiveness of different cast members. Jack is a hard member to please in that. So, what is a fun fact about Joong-ki that might surprise listeners?
I think what I really like is his all-roundedness. Like, I think he was a national speed skater, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that was something that I did not know about that you shared with me. That was a big surprise.
Yeah, so he's very athletic. That's one. And because I love sport too, so that really appeals to me. And then on the other hand, not only is he sport and athletic, he's also very smart. Apparently, he scored 380 out of 40 points for his national exam in Korea. And he made it to the top university in Korea, Sungkwan University, if I'm not wrong.
So he's an all-around package of like highly fit, highly smart,
and
very charming.
Yeah, not great looking, but charming. Yeah, charming is the word.
Yeah. And not great looking.
Not totally great looking. No.
I think he's
to be
so
honest,
cute.
to me, he only looks really good in his military uniform.
Well, yeah, let's get to that soon. Okay, so one thing about Descendants of the Sun, if you have not watched it and you're kind of on the fence and you're trying to decide if this is going to be a drama you're going to commit to, I will say that I think it puts the drama in melodrama. Because besides love and death in war-torn Urk, we have cars dangling on the edge of cliffs, we have very infectious disease outbreaks. There's abductions. So would you say that for you and like your personal taste, are you normally a fan of action dramas or movies?
Totally not.
Okay. I didn't feel like
No.
you didn't seem the type. So yeah, you didn't strike me as somebody who loves action movies, if I can,
No, you're totally right.
But how does the action work for you in this drama? Because this drama is a lot of action.
Yeah, I think the part that I really didn't like, that, like the cliff, the one where the car was hanging over the cliff, that's fine with me. The one with the disease, that's fine. But the one with the very dark abduction and the money and the killing, I didn't like that.
Okay. But
Yeah.
overall, the good parts of the drama were outweighing the
Oh,
parts
yeah.
So when you're rewatching it for, like the 9th or 10th time, do you fast forward the
Yes,
sections?
I do.
Okay.
Totally.
So the sections you don't like at this point, you're happy to move through.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, so this is something that I think this is a reason I didn't fully connect to the drama. I was willing to like overlook it because I found other parts more charming. But for my co-host Amy, she was not a big fan of the female lead. And so, one of the big conflicts in this is how Mo Yun is hesitant about becoming a military girlfriend. Do you feel like her, her fears on this are relatable, or do they feel like they get aggravating?
It's relatable. I can understand why, because she's a doctor and they made an oath. They took an oath that all life is important and that, no, in any circumstances they are meant to save lives. And because her values conflict with Sejin's, no, I can't say Sejin. Yeah, Sejin's. Yeah, his values being a soldier. So, yeah, it's a hard one. Yeah.
And so the push-pull, like, you find that that's compelling enough that you...
Yeah.
Okay. Because, for me, I felt like there were times where the push-pull... So one thing that's interesting in this drama, I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but something I think that is interesting is we see the main couple, even though they have a push-pull, by kind of like episode 4, they're pretty much coupling, like a couple.
Yeah.
And I would say the bigger kind of like will they or won't they comes from the second male lead and female lead, which is unusual. Like a lot of times they're more of like the like standard couple, whereas like the main couple might be more of the will they or won't they.
Yeah.
So but you like the fact that they kind of like invest early and then it's like a lot of them hashing out like how they're going to make it work.
Yeah. But also it's interesting because there's one part in the series where I think Argus, the main antagonist guy, he was shot, and then there was this part where Sejin was saying, can you save him? Whereas for her, she said, I don't want to save him because that would mean that he would be killing more lives or hurting more lives. So that was a total reversal of their values. So, So
that's an interesting part.
Twist.
And the villain in this movie is David McInnes, who is in quite a few dramas. He's actually Korean American, I think raised in Green Bay, Wisconsin, which is in my brain. I'll check that out to like confirm, but I'm almost positive. I have to say he wasn't my favorite character in this. I felt like he was a little cheesy. I liked him quite a lot in Mr. Sunshine, where he plays the character of Kyle, which is such a weird name to have in a drama as well. But I thought his kind of like weirdly goofy sense of humor worked okay in Mr. Sunshine, whereas in this one, I don't know, his character just never, it always bugged me.
Yeah.
He kind of plays a soldier who kind of went wrong and went mercenary and has lots of cheesy lines. What do you think about the English in this drama when they go into English?
I don't like it. I think there's too many pauses, especially when the Koreans, like Sejin speaks in English. Too many pauses like, you don't touch her.
Yeah, they're working really hard. And I mean, like, look, I am not going to pass judgment given that if I was trying to speak, how hard was it last night when I was trying to say, bow. We're talking, did I get it right yet?
Bow. That's right.
There we go. We were talking about bao buns and I was saying bow and I was told it was bow, and I am not good at tonal language, I can tell you that. So anyway, I don't want to be pointing big figures, but I will say that like it did kind of like pull me out of the drama multiple times. Like So okay, on to some of the good stuff. I think something that we can come together and agree is that the standout character in this drama is Shijin.
Yes.
And without big spoilers, what is a favorite moment for you with this character?
I think it's his ability to look really macho and strong and fierce, and then also look really cute and soft and like a little boy. His ability to be able to flip between the two, I think it's really appealing to me.
Yeah, I think there's a really famous, scene that gets put into a lot of the clips for the drama, and it's the one where he's walking across the tarmac, and he's got like the swagger, and he's wearing the aviator sunglasses, and she's got the scarf, and the scarf like blows off, and that is a very iconic moment, and the energy he's bringing into that scene is a lot for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll never dislike the drama.
No.
Because of him, I think. Okay, so thoughts on the chemistry between the leads versus the chemistry of the second leads, because this is something that I feel like I really am more invested in the chemistry that happens between the second leads in this drama, and then I like the main lead, but the female lead was like the weak link for me. But you really like the chemistry in the main leads.
Yeah, I just think it's really natural. Like even scenes like when they first met at the hospital and they were waiting to see the footage of the fight that was going on just to prove that Sejin was actually a soldier and he was innocent. The part where she put her hand on the rail to rest.
Okay.
And then he had his hand, he wanted to do the same thing too, but he accidentally touched her hand.
Oh yes, we have the famous finger touching.
Yeah, and then her reaction was just spontaneous and it was so natural. And I felt that, how do you act that?
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, another fun fact is that this was the Song couple.
Yes.
And so they did fall in love in the shooting of this drama, and they actually did marry. Sadly, that marriage was not destined to last more than a year.
1.5 years?
Yeah,
maybe?
it was a short-lived marriage.
It was.
But the chemistry that you are seeing in this show is real. Like they are falling in love in the show in real life, and as well as fictionally. Whereas the trope that's kind of happening within the second leads is also interesting to me, because this is normally the trope that we see in main lead couples, which is parents disapproving of a relationship and that keeping them apart. So we have a situation within the second leads where they're both soldiers. So the conflict of like being in the military as like a driver apart for them isn't so much. It's more the practicality of the military keeping them apart. Like they might be posted in different positions, and her father is like the general, right? So
that's right.
He's able to post the guy he doesn't want the daughter to be with anywhere he wants that's not near the daughter.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just really liked their relationship better.
Okay.
And Wolf, who is the second male lead, is just like this big lug of a guy, and that's just like never not like
who doesn't know how to express his feelings.
Yeah, so like a true tsundere character who just like hard on the outside, marshmallow on the inside. Oh my gosh, yeah, he kills me. Okay, so this drama is 16 episodes, about an hour long each episode. So do you find it too long, too short, or just right?
It needs another episode. I wanted to find out what happens after. Like the ending didn't do it for me.
Okay.
Where they all gathered at this wedding dinner, and then there was some siren that went off, and that was it. I think it needed more than that.
Yep.
I just want to know what happens to that couple.
So you wanted to get more of like an epilogue
more
with them.
romantic. Yeah.
You wanted to see babies, days at the park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a romance. So no big spoiler that there is an HEA that is defined at the end of the drama, which is nice to know, because some people also, when they're making a choice if they want to watch it or not, they want to know if it's going to end happily or not. So yeah, in this case, it is safe to say this is a true romance with an HEA. For 16 episodes, I think it was about right. I will say that there were times in Urk. Look, I have a lot of criticisms over the dramas that happened in Urk, but to me, it just became kind of cartoonish, some of the dramas, but at the same time, like, I was willing to be entertained. Like, and I can be very nitpicky, and so in this case, I was like, look, it was kind of bananas, but at the same time, like, why not? If we're gonna have an earthquake and an infectious disease outbreak and a military like situation, like, yeah, just keep throwing it on. It's fine. Okay, something else I want to talk about that's a little left field, but how do you feel like the drama's soundtrack adds to the watching experience? Because I think this is a beautiful soundtrack.
It is. Obviously, it gets you into the mood. gets you feeling how the couples feel. Oh, how the gets your emotions going.
Yeah, I feel like I have listened to the soundtrack like independent of the drama, because I've only watched the drama once, not the 10 times that you have. And okay, going back to the 10 times, have you also just ever had times where you're just watching clips, like you don't go back and watch the whole thing, but you just watch like?
No, actually,
okay.
I do. I
You
start
do the
from
whole
episode 1.
Okay, light some
And
candles.
I find that actually each time I watch, I notice different things that I've not noticed earlier in the previous times that I've watched it. Like in the latest one I've watched, I don't know, I've actually noticed that there was a scene between the second lead couple where they were in bed together.
And you had missed seeing that before.
And I missed that.
Ooh, saucy.
It was.
So, okay, my co-host Amy, who you have not met, so she did not like this drama. Why would you say she is so very wrong?
I wouldn't say she's wrong. I would just say that
You're being nice. We can tell her she's wrong.
No, it probably doesn't. I don't know. Why is she wrong? I don't know.
So she feels like she wasn't invested in the main couple.
Yeah.
The conflicts were all a bit too outlandish, and like I think it was just a bit cheesy for her.
Okay. Well, I feel the opposite.
Yeah. So the comedy, you like the comedy. The comedy was cute to
and
you.
I like the lines.
Yeah.
The lines, the script was really, like, the funny bits are really funny.
Yeah. So Kim Eun-sook is known for doing, like, good comedy and like, with her writing team. And, yeah, I thought there were some moments that were truly funny.
Yeah. I can remember one very distinctly where Sejin was asking Moyen what her blood type was. Mm-hmm. And she said, your ideal type. And then he gave that, really smile, that cheeky, charming smile. And he said, continue. And then she said, I think your beauty type or something like that. So, along those lines. Like,
there's a lot of
so
playful,
cute.
flirty banter between them. Yes. Okay. So is there anything else that you want to get off your chest about Descendants of the Sun? This is your chance to kind of get to tell the world why this is your top drama. Is there anything else that we should know about?
Because the couple's just so cute together. And it will just make you want to be part of it. Yeah. And I'm going to probably watch it again for the 11th time or the 12th time when I have the time.
Okay, so just pivoting a little bit off of Descendants of the Sun, we've been visiting, you've been very gracious in hosting us for, 10 days now. And in the last, 4 or 5 days, so we, when we got here, we always talk about dramas. And I had mentioned that one drama that I have liked is Moon Lover's Scarlet Heart Ryo. And you kind of like trundled off on your own and started watching it and got like fairly far in, like 6 episodes.
Yep.
And then we joined forces because, I am known to do a binge, but I hadn't binged in a while. And so the last, 3 nights?
Yeah,
we basically knocked out...
Well, pretty much from...
14 episodes?
Yeah.
14 episodes that are like an hour and 15 minutes each. And this drama is not lighthearted.
No.
So would you rewatch Moon Lovers?
Sadly, no, because the ending isn't what I want it to be.
Yes. So I will say that if you're looking for an HEA, a defined HEA, this is not going to be the drama for you. If you're looking for angst, like just layers of angst, plus every cute actor ever, like everyone is in this drama. Like we have so many people in this drama. I'm going to just pull up the cast list really fast so I can rattle off.
Oh, there's 14 princes.
Yeah, there's 14 princes. So, okay. In this drama, we have Lee Joong-ki as, the main, kind of, smoldering Phantom of the Opera type of, lead. Then, my bae, who I was able to bring you over to my side with Kang Ha-neul, because,
Yes.
On the podcast, I do talk about Kang Ha-neul a lot.
He is good looking.
We also have Nam Joo-hyuk, who, Startup, many other things. Jisoo, who, is good looking, currently on, has gone to the military because he had a scandal, but very cute. And then we also have Baekhyun, who is a singer from EXO, one of the K-pop groups. So I actually did not know this because, I spent a lot of time fanning out over BTS, but EXO I haven't paid as much attention to, but he was the 10th prince. And we loved the 10th Prince. You saw me sobbing about the 10th Prince. Like, the 10th Prince really was a character I liked. And so, yeah, I was like, who is he? Because he's so cute. And then I'm like, oh, he's like a super, super famous K-pop idol. Yeah, little boy. But he's not a little boy. He's like 30.
He's got a little boy's face.
He does. He has a little boy's face. But 30, he's well above my floor. He's not like, 21. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to, touch on that one because I was curious if that was going to be,
Sadly, no.
That was my second time.
I do want to watch more of the main lead, actually, in other shows.
Lee Joon-gi, yeah. I feel like I can convince you on, I mean, we really like him on the pod. He is definitely a favorite. And so I'll be giving you some recommendations that you can try out and see what you think about.
That sounds good.
All right. Well, that's really it. It was a pretty painless, hopefully, conversation about Descendants of the Sun. If you're on the fence, know that it's got a very handsome, cute, and charming male lead.
Not only that, but the whole crew in the Alpha team are good looking too.
Okay, this is
great
true.
Bodies.
Yeah, we didn't talk about, so the Alpha team is the military team that's like stationed in Urk, and they're kind of like the A team for like the special forces. An Po-yeon is in this, who is also a favorite on the podcast. And he actually doesn't have anything really tragic happen to him, which is nice for An Bo-yeon. Often picks dramas where terrible things happen to him. So in this, he's just kind of hot. That's Piccolo.
Yes.
They all have code names. So we have Piccolo, we have Snoopy, we have Wolf. What's the main lead's code name?
Big Boss.
Big Boss. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Big Boss. So that military team, if you like that like band of brothers kind of bromance, that's another big thing. Is I think there's lots of bromance in this because Wolf and Big Boss, they're besties, they've been through it, but the whole team kind of gets into it together. And then they're also known by the doctors at the base in Urk as, is it the Doves?
Yes.
And the Doves go out for their morning run. Shirtless
runs.
Jogs with their fatigues. Their fatigue pants.
Yeah.
And
they look very good.
Yeah. So there's a lot of eye candy. So look, for me, I would say that like this drama did not change my life. I will not watch it 10 times, but I did enjoy it. And, if I was hanging out with Jack and wanted to like binge another drama, I'd be happy to watch it again. But yeah, you may find that if you've watched it more than 5 times, let us know. I would like to know if you're like, and I'd also be curious if you're listening, is there a drama you've rewatched many, many times? Because I think at this point, Moon Lovers was a rewatch for me. I think I've watched Crash Landing on You. I've watched Crash Landing on You twice, and then I've watched Goblin 3 times, but did not get to the end. And the third watch, the end was too much for me, so I kind of like cut it where it was still happy. And that's, what I was like, able to do. So yeah, but I have not watched like something many, many, many times. So I was really fascinated by that aspect of it, which is one of the main reasons I wanted to chat today. So thank you very much. It's been so fun to hang out. Today we are going to be leaving as well. So she was really sweet to be able to agree to come on and talk to us. And so Descendants of the Sun, let us know what you think about it. Respond at Afternoona Delight podcast on Instagram, or you can shoot us an email at afternoondelightpodcast@gmail.com, or you can head on over to Patreon, join the fun there. And we have a lot of open threads on our Patreon, usually a couple of times a month, where you can get things off your chest. And if you feel some kind of way about Descendants of the Sun, because I feel like people really do, they either kind of like it or don't. I feel like I'm rare, I feel like, and that I'm kind of middle of the road. So let us know what you think.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Jack.
Thank you.
Annyeong.
Thank you for listening to Afternoona Delight. Make sure to subscribe for more great K-romance conversation. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Afternoona Delight Podcast for more information on our podcast, behind-the-scenes photos, and, of course, pics of our favorite oppas and anis. Annyeong!